you so much, General Evaluator. Good evening once again to everyone, and a special evening to my friend, Postmaster Goutham. The purpose of his speech was to understand different communication style, and I believe he has covered fairly well, and yet there are plenty of room for improvement. So here goes my evaluation, Goutham. Be ready because you are a brave man, like you said in your speech. So he gave a speech, and his speech title was Jungle Book. So let me evaluate in the form of jungle. The first one, which is J, which I like the most, was a jovial opening and closure. And I also appreciate the self-deprecating humor, which was situational when he said about spotlight, which I really enjoyed, clever usage of stage presence. And I also appreciate the Vikram theme which you brought in, which brings out to the point number 2, which is understanding the topical trend. I appreciate the brilliant usage of using Vikram as a movie so that the audience can remember. Metaphor is a good way to make sure that it sticks for a long time. You attempted it and it didn't work, or did it not work? Here comes my recommendation aspect of the speech. And I have 4 specific recommendations, my friend. You are a brave man, so you can handle everything. That's why I'm being open about it. The first one being N, which is need for sufficient preparation. Now, since you have a lot of content to speak, what happens is that sometimes we fall into this tendency whether we forget the speech or not. And I observed that in your speech, especially in the later part of your speech, wherein you were confused and you were repeating the same thing about gear, and you had abrupt pauses. So the next time when you attempt a speech which is very long, I would suggest you break down into 3 or 4 parts. Practice one part, then speak, then rehearse. Practice the second part, practice the third part. Then at the end you rehearse as a whole. So in that way, at least you would not forget the main content of your speech. G, which is get in-depth into specific aspect. Now, the one message which I came to know, or the overall style of your speech, is you adapt your communication style depending on the situation and person. Goutham, I wish I would have known more in depth about you, because at the end of the speech I came to know about the general manager, I came to know about every other human being, but what about you? That is what I wanted to know. Which brings me to the point number, which is L, leverage time. You had around 6 minutes 55 seconds. That is what. Use that time to build up, go more into specific stories. In fact, I will give you a tip. The next time when you attempt a speech, add personal stories, and you can implement this 3S framework, which is setup, struggle, success. Setup involves the person involved, the detailing. So this takes a lot of practice and time, but it's just a tip which can help you for your future projects. And E, last, which comes to the delivery aspect, which is explore the power of pace, pause, and pause. I noticed in the first half of your speech was that you were clasping your speech for the nearly first half of your speech. It's a sign of nervousness, and I can understand. And even during the second half of the speech, I felt you were looking only at me, which was good. I felt appreciated and respected. But there are an audience here as well. Give them respect as well. So to summarize, beautiful metaphorical themes which you have chosen. There are a lot of room of improvement, and I'm sure you will work into my recommendation. I appreciated listening to your speech. Back to the general.